Hello everyone. This is a short video showing my build of the NESA Protector from the movie Galaxy Quest. The kit was produced by Pegasus Hobbies, and I used an aftermarket photo etch kit, but I used very little of this photo etch kit. I didn't like how the photo etch kit was looking on part of the model, so I didn't use it for most of the model. Now, moving in on the model itself, the part of the photo etch kit I used was on the engines. Here you can see the brass detail, and I really like how that came out. I decided to go ahead and keep the brass on the engine. Also, the model features a removable command chip. Here you can see it is removable. It is held onto the main ship itself with some very strong magnets. Now, this model itself is on a custom-made base. I'll get to that in a minute. When I spin the model around to the back, here there was more photo etch detail. I didn't use this photo etch detail. I used brass mesh. I like the brass mesh better than the photo etch detail. Part of the reason for this, to me, it looked better. After watching the movie repeatedly though, the photo etch detail was closer to what you actually saw in the movie. Spinning this around again, we get back to the front of the ship, and we can see her a little bit closer in. Okay, now zooming back out, we're going to start talking about the base. The base itself shows a couple of scenes from the movie. Here we have Tim Allen confronting the rock monster. I'm not even going to attempt to pronounce the rock monster's name. I'm going to get it messed up. Okay, but there's a scene in the movie where these two have something of a fight. When I was building this model, I decided I wanted to light it up. Now, sci-fi bases, specifically starship bases for models, tend to be very boring, very one-dimensional. These people spend hours building the most beautiful model. It lights up, it's gorgeous, and then they stick it on a piece of wood that they got out of a scrap bin. I didn't want to do that for this model, so I got a really nice piece of wood for the base and did some groundwork on it. The rocks are made from plaster of Paris. I had some molds for those. The groundwork itself, I used a mixture of paper mache, Elmer's glue, and some ballast for model trains. Okay, now if I spin the base around a little bit more, we get to another scene from the movie. It is the miner camp where Tim Allen and his friends found the beryllium sphere. In the movie, the miner camp had a lot of these little round spiky things, so I decided to imitate that. Now turning back around to Tim Allen and the rock monster here, let me zoom back out. I want to show you guys something. This model is lit up. The rock monster himself is the switch for the lights. Right now the model is not lit up. I'm going to turn off one of these lights so we can actually see the lights. I'm going to move the rock monster over a little bit, and that causes the lights to come on the model. Okay? If I move the rock monster a little bit, the lights go off. What I'm going to do now is rearrange this thing a little bit so we'll be able to see the model itself lit up very well. And I'm going to dim the lights. There we go. The lights are dimmed. You can see the model is lit up. I like the brass because it had a couple effects. One, when I turn the lights on in the ship, the brass vanishes, and now you see blue lighting on the model itself. All the engines are lit, if you can call these things in the front engines. I really don't know what they were in the movie, because the things in the back were primarily engines. Okay, there are lights in the wings. You can see some of the marker lights on this thing. Okay, and the wings are lit again. You can see I've got the red lights on the wings lit. Now, to discuss the lighting, the main body of the ship was lit with fiber optics. There is a lot of fiber optics in this model, and they barely fit into the model, the main body of the ship itself. The wings were easier to light. Each of these rear engines has 2 LEDs. The front engines themselves both have 2 LEDs. 1 LED to light these side windows, and 1 LED to light these main engines. The wings themselves are lit with a red LED. The red LED is in the main body of the ship. I just noticed something. The command ship is being fussy tonight. I showed you guys earlier it was removable. Well, jeepers. There we go. Now, the red lights themselves are lit by 1 LED in the main body of the ship. The light is transmitted by fiber optics running up the wings. That was a lot of fun to do. That's sarcasm, by the way, because those wings really were not thick enough to support all those LEDs passing through it. I had to do a lot of filing in the wings to get those to fit. In addition, the command ship does light up. You guys saw me fiddling with it earlier in the video. She comes off and she goes back on and lights back up. Now I'm going to bring the lights back up for a second because I want to show you some details on that command ship. So here we go. Alright, the command ship again does light up. I pull her off. I did use a little bit of the photo etch on the back of the command ship here. We're going to zoom in on that a bit. You can see the photo etch on the back of the engine cans. Okay, the little ship is lit with 2 LEDs. There are no fiber optics in this ship. Instead, it is a different lighting method. I have 2 LEDs in the ship. The windows are cut out. I don't know if you can see that if I pull in close. Yeah, possibly. The windows are cut out, and then I coated the windows over with some micro crystal clear to make it look like they're really windows. You can see some gloss on those windows. Okay? Now, if we zoom in on this a little bit, you can see there's brass mesh there, and under the brass mesh is a series of copper rods. I had to put the copper rods in there or the lighting would not work on the command ship. So let me put her back up on there and fiddle with her a little bit. The contacts can be a bit fussy on the command ship. Most of the time it lights right up. Okay? And this is a short video, again, of my model of the NESA Protector from Galaxy Quest. I hope you enjoyed. Thank you.